Okay. Okay, let me explain it again. In the assembly language, there are three types of statements: imperative statement, declarative statement, and assembler directive statements. There are three types of statements in the assembly language. The first one is imperative. What does it mean? Indicates every action whichever we are performing is indicated, will be executed by the assembly program. Okay, whatever is there, the assembler is going to convert that particular thing into machine instruction. Every imperative statement will be translated into its machine equivalent form. That is, in our case, it is SMACO. In normal assembly, it is termed as machine code. Okay, so this indicates action to be performed during the execution of the assembly program. So imperative statement is indicating some action. Add, sub, mult, div, comp, dc, read, print, all are imperative statements. Now the second type of statements is declarative statements. DS and DC we use for declarative statements. So DS indicates declare storage. Whenever you are using DS and whenever you are using DC, there is one small difference. DS, the syntax is apparently looking the similar things. ADS1. Now 1 is the number of memory locations you require. GDS500, you are declaring an array of size 500. 5 consecutive locations, you will be storing some values. That's what it means. So high level assembly allows this all those things to be done. So ADS1 indicates use one memory location to store value of A. GDS500 indicates G is an array with 500 consecutive memory locations. Now, if I declare 1 DC1, DC indicates declare constant. So 1 DC1, so I'll be declaring 1 ONE1 as a constant with value 1. See the difference. Here it was the number of memory locations, whereas here it is the value. Okay, so ONE1 is having the value 1. Right? Now, the constant. DC does not allow really to implement constant. It simply initializes memory word to the given values. These values are not protected by the assembler. They can be changed by moving a new value into the memory word. What we feel is whenever we declare a constant, the value should not be changed. But there is some change in assembly. If it is declared using DC, you can change its value. Apparently looking, it is not very correct, but yes, you can do it like that. Even if I said ONE1 DC1, I can move some other value, say 2, 3, 4, 5 to the same memory location of 1. This is not allowed in higher level languages, but it is allowed in this assembly. Okay, now this add array 5. Suppose this particular statement you are using, add array 5. So this is having 2 operands. Array is the register operand and 5. Now, what is the difference as compared to writing add array A or add array B, means some variable name, some symbol apart from constant, and using a constant in the add or some statement. So the difference is, actually when you say add array A, you are moving the contents of A. Contents of A means content stored at the address of A to the A register, whereas here means it is moving the contents from A memory location A to the A register, whereas over here you are directly moving this particular value constant 5 into the A register. So this is allowed in high level assembly. We say that it is not supported by our simple assembly. Okay, so whatever is coming as the second operand, directly move that into the register operand, not from this address, but directly move this value. This is perfectly valid in higher level assembly. Another format that we can have is add array equals to 5. Now, what is the difference in this and this? This, if it is coming along with equals to sign and single quotes, it means that it is a literal. Truly speaking, literal means constant for high level languages, but for assembly, literal is different from constant. You can change the value of a constant, but you cannot change the value of a literal. That is the basic difference. Okay, so if you put equals to 5, this particular value you cannot change. But if you put 5, now see how you can do that. This uses a constant, and this concept is using a literal. That is the basic thing. Now let us see how where is the difference. What is a literal? First of all, a literal is an operand with the syntax equals to value. Okay, equals to value, like you have seen here, equals to 5 is the value you are using. It is different from a constant, as its location cannot be specified in the assembly program. Hence, its value cannot be changed during the execution of the program. So the basic difference between a literal and a constant is that you can change the value of the constant, but you cannot change the value of the literal. How to declare a constant? The value is protected as the name and address of this word is not known to the programmer. It is assumed that it is not known to the programmer, so programmer will not make use of this address, this location's address, into his programming. That is what is understood. This is a constant, this is a literal. How that works as a constant? 5 DC 5. The constant is declared. If you are using this particular constant construct, then it is using a constant. It is declared like this: 5 DC 5. Okay, so DC means declare a constant. So 5 word in words is storing the value 5. Suppose this is there at some memory location, say 14. Now in your program you can move some value to the address 14. So in that case, instead of 5, it may contain something else like 7, 10 or something like that. But whatever is the memory location, this literal is stored, this value cannot be changed. So that is the difference in the literal and the constant. You need to remember what is a literal and what is a constant. Constant is declared using DC statement, and the literal is declared using Advanced Assembler Directive LTORG, LTORG, literal organization. Okay, there, that is the place where the literals are declared. So basically try to understand there are two types. One is the literal, the other is the constant. For the sake of simplicity, we will be allowing this kind of construct using DC in our SMACO programs. If you want, you also can make use of LTORG. Because it is advanced level assembly feature, yes, definitely you can make it into your things, but then it will make your program a little complex. Okay, so it will not be a simple program. We are treating it as a simple assembly, so we say that only this construct is allowed in our assembly. Fine. So we have studied basically two types of statements, imperative and declarative. I think those two statements are clear. Now there is one more type of statement which is termed as the assembler directive statement. So there are in all three types of statements in the assembly. One is the imperative statement. Every statement gets translated into the machine level language. Another is the declarative, which is used to declare a constant or declare storage, means a kind of variable. We call it as a symbol. And the third type of statement is assembler directive. Now, which statements are called as assembler directive? There are two statements here. In the basic assembly, we call those two statements as the assembler directive statements. Instruct the what this assembler directive does. It instructs the assembler to perform certain actions during the assembly of a program. It instructs the assembler to perform certain actions during the assembly of a program. So what it means, we will see when we learn the start and the end statement. So start and end are the simple assembler directive statements. So those statements themselves are not translated into machine level form. Those statements themselves are not translated into machine form, but the other statements, the earlier statements, are translated into the machine level format. I think we'll stop over here for today's session.